Let's get into it. Wood shape, heart, and stars. There's the solder pen, so I can solder a hole into the wood, as you can see right here. Simple, basic, just find your place and solder the hole. Pretty easy, straight to the point. And there you go. Line it up. And do the same thing. Easy, right? Both are done, all lined up and ready to go. I'm going to do the stars. Same thing, find your place, get your solder pen, burn the hole in there, grab your other star, line it up, make sure the holes align with each other, and do the same thing over again. Also, offline, I'll do, you'll see like the wood gets a little like burned a little bit. So what I do is I'll grab a spray paint pen and kind of color over the burn spots, so that way when I paint I don't have to do so many coats. See, there you go. Star is done. Patrick's star is done. And yep, that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for the rest. Everything is painted using 2 coats. Every wood shape has a hole soldered through, and I am ready to get started. There's the paint that I use. I use black for the stars, and I use white for the hearts. 2 coats, both sides. Here you get your little paint tray so you can separate the paint. You got your paint brushes, and make sure you have some water. Okay, after you get all your paint that you want to use, get your paintbrush and dip it in your water. Make sure you dip it good enough where it's not really drenched and dripping all over the place. And then you put it in the paint that you want to start with and just start splattering it on your earrings. The key is making sure that the brush is wet. That is the key. And you can just use random positions with the paintbrush and get different kinds of lines and dots and different types of splatter marks. For me, I'm left-handed, so when I switch to the right side, I get a different look altogether. So when I want to do something more drastic, I just switch to the hand that I do not write with, and it just has a mind of its own. But as you can see here, I'm just putting the paint on there. My brush is still pretty wet, and also some of the paint has some water in it from when I dipped the brush in there the first time. So I didn't have to dip the brush in the water so many times. But here you go. You can see blue. I'm pretty happy with the results. I don't want to keep picking them up because when I sit it down, I don't know where it's actually wet. So be careful with that. I'm moving the earrings around. You don't want, splatter, or not splatter, but you don't want smear marks on the back of the earrings because you still got to do the back. But here I'm moving on to the next color. I didn't shake up the paint on the first couple bottles, so I had to swirl it around, as you can see. But make sure you shake the paint up and get it all mixed together before you pour it into your paint tray. So just stay tuned to the rest of the colors and see how it turns out. Everything is pretty much repetition. You just keep doing, sticking the paintbrush, different paintbrushes for different colors in the water. And yeah, as you can see, it's starting to come together. So stay tuned. Green is done. I said I wasn't gonna pick it up, so I was trying to find a good one to pick up where it wasn't all wet around the shape, and I wouldn't have a hard time of picking it up and putting it back down in the wet spot and getting that infamous smear on the back that I do not want. But as you can see how the green and the blue and the white is starting to really come together. So when I put those other colors on there, it's gonna pop like I don't know what. So yes, I'm adding a little bit more green because I wasn't happy with it, and a few I missed. So yep, stay tuned. Here's a quick tip. Now, this coral color that I'm using right now, I actually shouldn't have done that. You see how I put it in the bottle and I shook it up and then it turned the water that color. It really doesn't matter if the water changes colors, but I will say after you shake it up and you go straight, and you still have a lot of paint on the brush, and you go straight to splattering the paint, you will have water drip marks, and they are not pretty. Sometimes they're hard to cover. So a few of the earrings actually does have that watermark, but it turned out okay because of the color. So for instance, if you use black and navy blue, or red, dark green, the darker colors, let's put it that way, some and all of them, use all the darker colors, then you will have that real nasty watermark look, and it's so hard to get out. But if you're using like light neon colors, pinks, and for example, this coral color that the watermark made, then it was okay because it kind of popped on the white. So, but just beware of that. Alright, so I'm going to finish this up with the black and to wait for it to dry, which takes probably about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to dry. And then I'll turn them over and do the other side. And yep, that's it. Here's the finished product. I used diamond glaze to coat the paint and give it just a little bit of a shine. I will post a picture, and also I will post a picture of the spray paint pen. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Till next time.